Hi there, Stampers. It's Linda Schmitt with Stampin' with the Hounds. I'm continuing on with my Fun Fold series, which I have been focusing on the bookbinding fold and how you can do variations on that fold with some other elements added to it. So thanks for joining me today. So in this series, now we are going to take our bookbinding fold and we're going to add an explosion to the inside, the explosion card, using some designer series paper. So that's kind of fun. So this is the first one I did. I was kind of practicing. So this is using the Stampin' Up! Wild Ferns stamp set and coordinating dies that go with it. So these are really pretty. They have these like little frame borders with the ferns, and then the ones that cut out the fern stamps, and then some rectangle stitched dies that you can do cut out your sentiments. So that is, and then as a bundle right now, that is, I think 50, I thought I wrote it on here. Oh, maybe I didn't. I think it's like 50 something. But anyway, the dies itself are 33, and then the stamp set is 24 normally. So anyway, and then the other thing we're using that coordinates with it is the Ferns 3D embossing folder, which has been in the catalog and is carrying over into our new catalog that comes out May 1st. So make sure you check those out. But let's go ahead and let's share some of these other samples. Like I said, here's the first one I did, kind of with that little fiddlehead stamp that's been kind of popped up a little bit. And then you just do the explosion, and you can decorate the top and the bottom if you don't have to decorate this part if you don't want to, but this is definitely like where you would be putting your sentiment or your you know, when you write and sign it. So there's that one. And then my other one, so these are all kind of what I call the portrait style. This is another one, and this is using the Inked Botanicals Designer Series paper, which is currently, it's being discontinued. So if you go into the online sale right now through Stampin' Up! Through my website, I think this pack of 6x6 paper is like on sale for $10. And then again, there's that border fern that I have kind of tucked behind, and then that's a little stitched rectangle die, and then I embossed the fern in gold. And then when you open it up, again, you've got that explosion. And it's a nice flat kind of folding card. So there's that one. And then the other one, so I switched it up. Now I did it as landscape. So it's still the same dimensions, it's just the way you're laying it out. And on this one, I used the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper, and these come in 12 by 12 sheets, and this will be carrying over into the new catalog in May. So that's great because this paper is beautiful, and I only had scraps left of it. So here's this one, and then I did that fern embossing folder on that circle, and then again I embossed that fiddlehead stamp. And then when you open it this way, now we've got our explosion. Like I said, it's going to be more of the landscape way. And then I did a little bit of those detailed butterflies, and I just did some gilded leafing on top of it. And then I stamped behind it. And then this saying is from the online Encircled in Nature. You can only get this stamp set online only. So there's this, and then they've got the coordinating dies that go with it. So I think that one turned out really pretty. I love that paper. And then my one that we're going to be doing today, or a version of it, I kind of doing back to the portrait, but on ours that we're going to do today, we're going to switch it and make it landscape. So I'm going to show you both ways to do it. So this again is that portrait with that Inked Botanicals. I did a little bit of embossing, and this is the distressed gold 12 by 12 paper that is being retired. I love that paper. And then a little bit of the fern folder there. And then again, and this one I did double layer, so you don't have to always double layer if you don't want to. And then when you open it up, you've got your explosion with that Inked Botanicals paper again, and then I just used up whatever little leftover die pieces I had. So it's a super easy, kind of a fun card because it kind of surprises people when it pops open like that. So let's get started. Again, so we're going to be doing a version of this one, but we're going to switch it and we're going to make it landscape instead of the portrait style. And we're using that Wild Fern stamp set. So what you'll need is again a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11. So it's just a half a sheet of paper, and we're just cutting it down vertically. And we're going to score at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. So similar to all the other bookbinding folds with these scores, we're kind of continuing with that. So that's your card base. You'll then need, now because I am double layering this one, I had got cardstock that is 4 by 4, and then I have designer series paper that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 on that. So that's going to layer on top. And then these are all my, this is my layout. I put a little low tack tape so I didn't lose my what I was going to be doing. And then your spine, this is designer series paper, and that's just 1 by 4. And again, I'm just using all that ink botanicals. And then you will need a 6 by 6 sheet of designer series paper. So again, this is a great way of using up your paper because you've got a 6 by 6 square, and we're going to score this, and I'll show you how to do that to make that explosion part, and then that's what's going to go inside. So kind of pick paper that has a good front and back because you're going to see both sides of it. And then for the inside, if you want to do the two, again, you got options. Like this one, I didn't do the square, I just did a die cut. But this little square here is where you where you would sign it. These are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And again, you'll need 1 to 2. So I've already took one of them that's going to be on the top. No, I didn't glue that down. This is the Fern embossing folder that I used again, and then I just die cut already one of the little stamps from the Ferns set, so I'll put that in there. And then just as a reminder, when you are doing this, when you go to stamp, it's going to be like a diamond shape. So you're not stamping like a square because it's going to be going in like this. So just make sure when you're stamping it that you're saying is, you're stamping it this way so that you're not, it won't be crooked when you go to do it. All right, so let's go ahead and start the scoring on the card base. And then, oh, and then ribbon if you want to put ribbon on that spine. But that's totally optional. You don't have to do it. All right, so we are looking for my, oh, there it is, my stylus. So again, on the 11-inch side, we'll score at 4 1/4. And 5 1/2. All right, and then we'll set that aside for now because the other thing that I want to score is our explosion. So this is my little sample. So basically, you're going to look at, let me grab my paper we're going to be using. So again, that's that 6 by 6, and we're going to score at 3, score at 3, and then we're going to score diagonally through it. So knowing that it's going to open kind of like when you're looking at it this way, like a diamond, depending on your pattern paper, pay attention. Like this one, it's flower, so it doesn't really matter. But if you've got a paper that has a specific pattern that is definitely like a top or bottom, just kind of be aware of that. So I am going to put this in here, and we're going to score at 3 inches. And then we're going to rotate it, and we're going to score at 3 inches again. And then for the diagonal, on my Simply Scored tool, I took a Sharpie, and at the, it doesn't really matter where you do it, but I did it right in the middle. At the 6 inch, I just drew a line so that when I go and do my diagonal scoring, let's see, so I've got one there, one there. I have my points lined up. Oh, let me back up a little bit here. You can see that, sorry. So you've got that one. If I can get all of it in screen. There we go. I may have to zoom out. There we go. So you've got your top one and your bottom one are lined up on that. So we'll just make sure that's all good, and then we'll just score. Actually, I'm going to flip this over because I want this score line going the other way so I don't get my paper fibers Okay. All right. And that is it for the scoring. All right, so when you get this, so again, that was that 3-inch, so it was a 6x6 piece of paper, and you've got the 3 inches, and then you rotate, and again, you score it again at 3, and then you do that diagonal in the middle. And then when you go to fold it, on these horizontal ones, those are both going to be valley folds, like that. And then the diagonal one is the mountain fold. And then when it gets in together, you're going to put adhesive here and adhesive here, because that's what's going to be attached to the card. So when it opens, that's how you're getting the explosion. Okay. So again, I wanted, knowing that my diagonal, which is here, that needs to be the mountain fold. So I'm going to do that one first. Okay, so there's that mountain fold. And then we'll go ahead and do the other ones. And these are going to be the valley. And the other one, there it is. I know this paper's a little bit harder to see those score lines because it's that vanilla. Okay, so then once you have that, knowing this is where your mountain is, you're going to kind of pinch that and kind of squeeze, and then it really does kind of fall into place. And then you've got your little square, and then I always just kind of burnish it with the bone folder again. And then there is your little explosion. So we'll set that aside for now. Let's go ahead and score our card base. So in the middle, we're going to just fold this in half like normal. And then on that spine, this part is going to go back. And then what we're going to do is we'll put adhesive here to attach our spine. So I'm just going to put tear and tape here for now. I'm not going to close it shut quite yet because I want to put my ribbon on, but I'm just going to do this tear and tape just because I want a stronger adhesive to hold this together. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let's put our spine, which was that 1x4 piece of designer series paper. And I always like to have my silicone craft sheet just because with adhesive, I don't like it getting stuck onto my work area or onto my glass mat. So I'm going to flip this over. And then this is going to go right on the spine. And then I've got my 4x4. And again, this could just be just designer series paper by itself, like I did on this one. It's just one layer, but I'm going to be doing two. So this one is going to be the 4x4. And I just did vanilla cardstock. And then I have my 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 piece of designer series paper for my layering. And because I don't want to lose how I have my layout here, we're going to very carefully put adhesive on the back of this. Yeah, I designed this. I was ready to do this video over the weekend, but oh my gosh, life just got busy, and then work has been redonkulously busy for me. I see to clone myself. I need more hours to do stamping. But the day job pays the bills, so. All right, so that's on there now, but we'll attach all of that stuff in a little bit here. So now let's go ahead and do our inside. So we want to tie our ribbon. So I'm just going to take some ribbon here and I'll bring it around. And we will trim that off. Okay. And the ribbon is totally optional. You don't have to do this part, but I've got all this ribbon and I'm trying to use it up. So these bookbinding fold cards have been a good use of using up my ribbon. Okay, and we'll just trim our ends. Okay, and then we're going to open this up. And now we can go ahead and, actually I was thinking that, did I cut? No, I'm okay, all right. I was thinking if I needed to cut another piece of designer series paper, but I don't. So, okay, so we're gonna peel those off and then you'll just close that down. All right, now we're gonna do our explosion. So remembering that we're doing a landscape version this time around. So when we open it up, we wanna make sure that our pattern, if you've got a pattern that, like I said, does have that top and bottom, that you wanna make sure that you've got that lined up correctly. So I'm gonna, before I forget here, because I think this might be a little bit easier before I attach that in there, I'm gonna go ahead and attach my cardstock layers in here first before I put it in there. So this, again, these were 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and they can be cardstock, they can be designer series paper. You can skip the one and just do you know, whatever embellishments or punches that you want to do. Like I said, I already had the stamp done and die cut, because when I was making all these samples, you know, I die cut like crazy. So I've got my little baggie of extra die cuts and stamps, which is kind of fun. So if I need to do a card really quick, I've got, you know, stuff already die cut. So again, knowing that this is going to be more like a diamond layout. Let's see, let's go this way. We'll have our, maybe we'll do it this way. Attach that. And then we'll go ahead and put this on the one side of the designer series paper. So again, it's going to be opening up this way. So I'm going to put one over here. Oh my gosh. So that's Ezera above me. If you can hear, she's doing her afternoon digging exercises. She just loves to dig at the carpet. So yeah, she's so funny. Goofy dog. All right, and for this one, I am going to have my, what was I doing for the saying? This was going to be, I think I was going to do a thank you. So we'll go ahead and grab, we'll do the thank you, and probably much appreciated, I think, is the other one. Or you are greatly appreciated. We'll do that for the other one. And I may, just to carry in the fern, I think I will do another little stamp. We'll do that one in petal pink. Let me grab, I don't know. I have an old house, so when people are upstairs, I'm in the basement. It's like super squeaky. So sorry. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay. All right. So we're going to be going this way. So I'm going to do my little fern, and this is just as a kind of a little bit of an accent. We'll just kind of do it. Or maybe I will have it going this way. We'll just do it that. It's just a subtle in the background. And then I'm going to do Pretty Peacock, one of my favorite colors. That'll be in the same. And I'm going to put it up a little bit higher, just so that I have room to sign the card. Do that. And then on the front of the card, I do need to grab my little rectangle piece and very carefully remove all this on my layout. There we go. And this is where we will do the thank you. And again, I'm going to do that in the Pretty Peacock. And hopefully stamp straight. All right, let me have to, you know, I do have to bring this down so I can see what I'm doing. So sorry here. Just so I can see it a little bit better. Oh, there we go. Whew, thank goodness. So I only cut one today. Normally I have a backup if things go awry. All right, so that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the inside. And then we'll go ahead and attach our explosion card to the inside. All right, so then we're just going to close this up. I'll just move this here so I kind of remember what I was doing. Okay, so remember that we've got our landscape layout. So when I open this, you're going to, and this just fits in here. I'm just going to get my thing here centered so I can use my grid lines to help me. Okay, so making sure, and if you wanted to, before you had stamped and stuff, if you want to trim this down so that it's like just under 6 inches, you can, but I really, it does fit in here. So you really don't need to trim it if you don't need to. So, all right, we are going to then add some. So you're going to put adhesive all over this square, and then you'll just close the card on top of it, and then now the top part is adhered. So now we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back. And then you'll close the card again to attach it. And I'll just close it. And then I'll just burnish it with the folder. And then now you've got your landscape explosion card. All right, so now let's go ahead and decorate our front of the card. And I need to grab, so what I did on this kind of distressed gold, because this is it's a specialty paper, so it's fairly thin, I actually put this on a sticker sheet and then I die cut it. So all of this now is basically a sticker, so it makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about, you know, your liquid glue and getting gunky glue everywhere. So those sticker sheets do work pretty slick on these intricate dies. So I'm just kind of very carefully peeling off the sticker. All right, so then I was going to have it go. I actually use my tweezers here just to help me. So knowing that that's there, I'm going to have, I just need to place this so that my leaves and stuff aren't overlapping onto my layers here. I think that looks good. So we'll go ahead and attach that down. All right, and then I've got my little rectangle. So again, this is from the die set. I ran it through that embossing folder to give it that fern texture. And then we'll just attach this. And I think when I was doing this, oh no, was I going this way? Oh, you know what? I think I did mess this up, my layout. Oh well, we'll figure it out here. We'll just change it up a little bit. Because I should have had it going, I should have had this L basically going this way, but I can make it work. We'll just do it this way. On the fly, we're figuring it out. If I can put it on straight. All right, there's that. I've got my saying, which I'm gonna actually pop this up with some dimensionals. Yeah, my my pre-order from the brand new Stampin' Up! Catalog that starts in May. I just got it last night. I haven't even opened the box yet. That's how busy I've been. So somewhere today, I need to go through and I can't remember now what I got. All right, I think I am going to layer this just because because I've got these extra dies in here. Just to give it a little bit of thickness is basically why I'm doing it. So I think I only need 2. All right, so this, I'm just going to adhere. Yeah, and the items that we're retiring, you know, they've got some of the stuff on sale. Man, stuff was going quick. I had a bunch of people that wanted the Lighting the Way stamp set and die, and the stamp set yesterday was out. I think the dies were still available, but oh gosh, it's so hard when like you're trying to put in an order and it's like, oh nope, now it's not there. Gotta be quick. Okay, so that just gives it just a little bit of thickness and support. So I think what I'm going to have is we'll put this here. We'll have that. Where do I want it going this way? I may do like that. All right, so we'll glue this down. I love this stamp, this little fiddlehead. All right, and I believe I made this one a sticker too. Here we go. And then we'll just kind of tuck this underneath just to carry through that with that gold. And then we might just stick that one there. So this one is just in Pool Party. These are just some of the little fern dies that come with this set. Like I said, a lot of times when I'm die cutting, I just sit there and just die cut away for a few hours. I it's so relaxing. I don't know why, but I love die cutting. And I don't know if I need this one or not. We will see. Maybe we can add it there. It's die cut, might as well use it. All right. So there is the bookbinding fold with the explosion in the center. So doing it both as a landscape or as a portrait layout. So thank you again for joining me. I've got a few more bookbinding fold variations that I am working on. I'll give you a little sneak peek. This is the next one that I'll be doing. And this one is called still the bookbinding, but it is the corner pop out. So now you're still using that designer series paper, but now the fun fold kind of it comes out as that side, and then it can stand up and display. So I think that was kind of fun. I was just playing around with just some retired paper that I had, some scraps. And then the sailboat punch, this is still available. It's on sale because it is retiring in there. And then I just used up a bunch of retired stuff that I had on hand. But so that'll be the next one that I'll be working on this weekend to get recorded and uploaded. And if you haven't done so, to check out my other bookbinding ones. So the other ones I have was the bookbinding with a Z-fold and a shaker card. So make sure you check out with that. I'll add some links to these as well. So there's that one. And this is using that Gorgeously Made stamp set that's retiring. And then again, that Inked Botanicals. Love a shaker card. And then the other one I did was the Bookbinding Gatefold. And again, the one I had demonstrated uses the Coffee with Friends. But this again is using that Ferns set and then the Winter Meadows Designer Series paper. So be sure you check those videos out and stay tuned for the bookbinding pop-out, corner pop-out. And then again, as always, I appreciate you stopping by and my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, and that way you get notified when I upload my new tutorials. And have a great and creative day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.